Hey, welcome to word problem sine law, cosine law, and primary trig ratios. So example 1. Mr. Shin wants to paint this triangle below. If the measurements below are in centimeters, how many square centimeters will he be covering? So how much paint will I need to use? So really, if they're asking me to paint all this, so we're going to be painting everything inside here, it's really asking for the area. Okay? So they want the area of triangle. Oh, we don't have any letters here, so let's call it BLM. So for triangles BLM, we need to find the area of that. That's really what this question is asking. Okay, in order to find the triangle, or the area of this triangle, we know that the area of a triangle is going to be half base times height. And we don't quite know what the height of this triangle is, so you got to draw a line that's perpendicular to find out the height. And I'm going to go for an upside down version. I'm going to call that the height of the triangle. That's how tall this triangle is. If that's the bottom, I'm going to call this the bottom, and that's the top. That'll be my height. You could certainly do this one as well. That'll be the height of this one, but I'm going to choose this one first. And we have this number. We have the base of that triangle, which is 6,000, but we do not have the height. So I'm going to call this h. We do not know what that is. So we're going to have to do some work. And if we take a look at what we have here, we have side, side, side for this BLM. We have all three sides. If we're given side, side, side of a non-90-degree triangle, we know we're going to have to use cosine law. So we can try using cosine law. Now, we can use cosine law to find this angle, or this angle. We have three choices. Now, let's take a look at this triangle right here. I'm going to make this letter here. Let's call it N. So if we were given triangle NLM in this triangle here, we know in this triangle NLM we only have this hypotenuse here, and we're trying to find the height. We don't have enough information in triangle NLM to find the height. But if we use cosine law to find out this angle here, then we will have enough information for this right angle triangle NLM to find out what h is. Okay, so that's the overall plan. We're going to start with cosine law, number 1. Then we're going to look at triangle NLM for part 2. And then we're going to finish it off and find the area of the whole triangle BLM. Okay, so cosine law, here we come. And we want to find out the angle M here. Okay, so angle M. So we want the cosine law version that has cosine M here. And if M is going to be out there, we know that M squared is going to be here. And we have the other two sides of this non-right triangle, which is going to be b squared and l squared minus 2bl cosine m. And now we can plug numbers in. Actually, before I do that, yeah, we can plug in. Okay, so small m is going to be this one. Side m is 2420 squared. Side b is across from angle b, so that's going to be 50/50. And L, this one's L right here, which is going to be 6,000. Minus 2 times b, which is 50/50, times L, which is 6,000. And cosine m, which is the one we're looking for. I'm going to highlight that. So in order to isolate for m, we need to isolate for all of this first. Okay, so that means we're going to move, simplify all this and move things to the other side here. All right, so 2420 squared. Actually, I'm going to leave it separate. And I'm going to move this to the other side. And it's a huge number, so I'm just going to subtract it. Move this to the other side, 50 squared, whatever that number is. Move this to the other side, minus 6,000 squared. Right, this is adding. And this is equal to all of that, negative 2 times 50. Actually, I can plug that in. So, in my calculator, negative 2 times 50 times 6,000. And that's some huge number. minus 606, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cosine m. Now I can plug all of this in my calculator. So 2420 squared minus 5050 squared minus 6000 squared is this huge number. And so let's write that down. Minus 5, 5, 6, 4, 6, 100 equals to negative 606, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cosine m. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to take this number and divide by 6. I don't know what that number is, some large number. So negative 606, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. And that is going to be 0.91. 8 dot 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 equals to cosine m. Alright, so we divided both sides by 600. I don't know how many things that is. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 60,600,000. So we divided both sides by 60,600,000. And we got 0.918. And we need to isolate for m here, so we're going to use the cosine inverse of both sides, making sure to keep all those decimals in place. And we have 23.328. Dot, 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 and I'm going to store that. Okay, and so that is a degree. This is angle m, which is going to be 23 dot, dot, dot degrees. Okay, so now that we have that, we can actually focus on the step 2 here, which is triangle NLM. So in triangle NLM, it's a right angle triangle. So if it's a right angle triangle, we can actually use SOHCAHTOA. We can use the primary trig ratio because it is 90 degrees. So let us now highlight our focus angle. So that's our focus angle, and start labeling things. So across from my focus angle, this is going to be my opposite. Across from my 90 degrees, it's going to be my hypotenuse. And this last part is going to be the adjacent. Okay, and then what do we want? We want the hypotenuse because we want h, right? This is what we want. We want h. So we want something that has hypotenuse. And what do they give us? Sorry, they want the opposite. We want the opposite because that's what h is. And we also are given the hypotenuse. So we want something that has both opposite and hypotenuse, which is going to be sine. So let's use sine of angle m equals to opposite over hypotenuse, and angle m is 23.328 dot 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 equals to the opposite, which is h that we're looking for, and the hypotenuse is 50/50. And to solve for h, we're going to multiply both sides by 50/50. 23.328. So multiply 50/50 times sine of this. So that's going to be 1999.776 dot 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 equals h. And I guess since they have no decimal places in each of their numbers, so I'm going to report a final. Oh, we're not done yet. This is not the final step. So ignore everything I just said. Let's go on to step 3 here. And we now know the area of the triangle is half times the base of that triangle, which is 6,000, times the height of that triangle, which is 1999.776 dot dot dot. So we're going to multiply this number by 6,000 and then divide by 2. We are given 599,330.977 dot dot dot. And since they have no decimal places, we report no decimal places. So this is going to round up to 331. So 999,331. And this is an approximate answer, so we're going to put a dot above there. And this is in centimeters squared, because they said this is in centimeters up here. And this is the final answer. Therefore, Mr. Shin will be painting 5,999,331 square centimeters. That's a lot. Okay, so how did it start? Well, we started by identifying what they wanted. They wanted the area of the triangle. I wrote down the formula and figured out what I had and what I didn't have. We had the half, we had the base, but we didn't have the height of the triangle. So I drew in the height of the triangle, and after drawing the height of the triangle, we made a plan as to how to get this height. We found out that we needed this angle here. And in order to find that angle, we understand that we were given a triangle that had side, side, side. So a triangle that's given side, 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 right, is cosine law. And you gotta be strategic. Which angle do you want? Do you want this angle, or do you want this angle, or do you want that last angle? And really, you could have done this angle as well and worked the same question with this side, and you would have got the same answer. But I chose to use this side, and I wanted an angle M, so I chose the correct cosine law, plugged it in, isolated for M. Okay, and once I had M, we had this triangle, which is triangle NLM over here. And we identified our focus angle, opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse because we identified this is a 90-degree triangle. We knew we had a 90. We could use primary trig ratios. And from here, we plugged in what we knew, which was the opposite and hypotenuse, and solved for the height. And once we had the height, we could use that to find the area. Okay? And so, this is the first word problem. If there's any questions, please contact me by email or in Google Chat. See you on the next video.